again, you did talk about the Congo. Can you explain to the audience the situation in Congo and why the world should be paying attention to what's going on?
Because without Congo, then we wouldn't be able to have social media. We wouldn't be able to have microphones and phones and cars and planes, and all of this tech industry is fueled by the minerals that are coming from Congo right now. And I think the world should pay attention to it because it's the biggest humanitarian crisis of our time. So right now in Congo, there's 7 million people displaced, which is around the same as the population of New York displaced, living in a tent, right?
That's great.
So like this rising, yesterday actually, I got sent a video of people being bombed and like 14 people get killed. And it was a heartbreaking video that I saw because there was this woman, she just dead, and her child was on her back and had to pull the child off the back. And I'm looking for the child now so that I can try and give it a home because we built a village and we care for many orphan children in Congo. But the war is a war of resources. So if you watch the movie Avatar, it's like that's going on in Congo right now, where Western imperialists are sponsoring, state sponsoring because it's government funding, sponsoring the war in Congo so that the minerals can keep flowing to the West and to China. And we're all, if you have a phone, then you're complicit, Everybody is complicit in this because the minerals are coming from there. And this idea that there's no conflict minerals in these devices is just a lie. Like I've been to the mines where, like I've been to the areas where I've seen bodies full of bodies. I've seen trucks full of bodies. So this genocide that's happening is happening for this tech industry. And it's not being spoke about because it's Black African people that it's happening to. If it was white folk, it was happening to, we'd be speaking about it. If it was Korean people, it was happening to, we'd be speaking about it. If it was Ukrainian people, it was happening to, we'd be speaking about it. It doesn't dominate the narrative. It's not taught in schools. It's been going on for 25 years, nearly 10 million people dead. So it's like there's 7 million people displaced, but there's been more people killed since 1998 just for these minerals. And if we want to talk about a progressive Black future, we need to be speaking about how our involvement as people can be with our people, our brothers and sisters abroad, so that we can help to facilitate a change for them, because we ain't going to stop buying phones and we ain't going to stop getting new tech. Everybody needs the new tech to be up on communication, right? But as much as communication is necessary, so is a common unity. And why do we only extend our community to our block or to our respective country? Why, if we are benefiting from what's going on there, we are not also trying to make ourselves accountable for the suffering?
I think I'm glad that you even brought it up because I am just now being privy to what's going on. Like you said, it's been happening for 25 years. I feel like I just discovered this was going on in the last couple of months. You know what I mean? So what minerals specifically are these tech companies resourcing from Congo?
So 70% and 80% respectively of the world's cobalt and coltan are coming from Congo. And cobalt and coltan is the same thing that coats jets and planes, but it's also the same thing that goes in our motherboards that is able to send, and in our microchips to be able to send signals rapidly. So the best grade of it comes from Congo. And it's not like other countries don't have it, but all the rest of the countries in the world amount to 30% to 20% of it, and Congo is 70 to 80% of it at the grade that is needed to be able to build these new superconductors and these new micro processing units.
So what can we do, like just in general, just people globally, Black Americans, Caribbeans, like what can we do to bring more attention to this? And, ultimately, what can we do? Because I'm having this conversation with you, I'm seeing what's happening online, but I don't know necessarily how I can contribute to the cause.
I think we should be speaking about it as much as we're speaking about Drake and Kendrick, right? Because there's a hashtag Free Congo. that people can use and stop tech genocide. And we are focused on the distractions. We're not focused on the atrocities and the solutions. Because as soon as it's just like having cancer. You cannot address and treat the cancer until you identify that you have it, right? You cannot treat something if you're not speaking about it. So everybody who's Black should be speaking about this. And then as people start to speak about it, the people who've been creating the solutions for many years will be like, all right, well, this is what needs to be done. But there's not a critical mass. There's not enough people speaking about it to even get to a point of these are the next steps or these are the solutions, because international governments receiving pressure from the rest of the world start to change their policies. They start to change the way that they do things. Slightly, slowly, but we're not even at that stage where people know enough about it to even begin to change stuff.
I believe, and I'm not speaking for everyone, but we're uneducated. We don't understand what's going, growing up in the American society, you're not taught what's going on. You only worry about what's, like you said, your neighbors or what's going on. But where do we get this information? I know you said we can look at it just as important as the Kendrick and Drake situation, but where do we get this information? Or who is spreading the awareness that we need to follow to understand? Because I could speak to African brother or sister, and that's not the conversation that we're having as well.
I think that's what he's saying is the problem, the awareness, right? Like people aren't aware of what's going on. So
where would that change? That information is not coming from
people like us, promoting it on our platforms and getting other people to do the same. Like spreading awareness is the only way that's going to change it. Because
we're having a conversation, but where will we get the information, the answers?
So there's many accounts that are speaking about it, and it's just like anything. If you are into car detailing, you're going to find all of the accounts that do car detailing, right? And that's a very niche thing, but there's a whole community that surround that, right? Same with tuner cars, same with vegan food and alkaline food, same with, I don't know, Japanese vintage clothing. There's a niche groups of people who look for information, and then they apply that information, it becomes knowledge, right? There's many accounts who are posting about this. There are myself, iHeartAfrica.org. There is Focus Congo. There's Friends of Congo. There's Congo to Global. These are all Instagram accounts. There's an account called Read My Art. There are, I would say, there's what are the name there now? Batoto Yagoma. One of the problems is the language barrier. Most Congolese people in Congo, they don't speak English. They speak French, they speak Lingala, they speak Kikongo, they speak Kiswahili. So a lot of the rhetoric that's coming out of there is coming out in a language that people don't understand. In what English speaking people don't understand. I think the other issue with finding information out about it is it's not as exciting as the Kendrick and Drake beef, right? So you have people who don't listen to rap now invested in this thing that's going on right now because it's trending, right? You have people who didn't really know what's going on and they've listened to every single diss track and they've all the history and they know everything. They're doing analyses of it, but doing an analysis of why in Central Africa more people have been killed than the Jews during the Holocaust is not as exciting. It's kind of depressing if you actually look at it. It's kind of like, what? How many people dead? All right, wow. And then you've got like 25 years of history to look at. And it wasn't even 25 years of history. It started when King Leopold of Belgium invaded Congo and had his armies invade Congo after the Congo Conference in 1885, where he decided to take it as his personal country. This is where a lot of the fuckery really started to happen. When they decided that they wanted ivory, wild ivory, and they started chopping up elephants so they can make pianos, right? And when they invaded Congo so that they could take rubber out so that they could invent what we now know as the modern car tire, That's where it came from.
That's great.
Firestone, Bridgestone, all the rubber was coming from Congo
Yeah.
to be able to invent this tire. So without this suffering that's been going on now for 140, 150 years, that a lot of the things that people take for granted every day wouldn't have even happened. And it's not just the coltan and the cobalt. Congo produces over 1 billion per year of diamonds, gold, wolframite, tungsten. Like everybody has a phone, right? And your phones vibrate.
Mhm.
It's tungsten that spins around in the phone that makes that vibration. It comes from Congo, right? The same with a lot of the copper. Copper wiring is probably going through all of this circuitry system right now. It's not coming from Massachusetts, right? It's coming from
Fact.
Congo. As I just said, you can find out something if you care about it, but you need to care about it, and to be aware is to be human. You know?
Understandable.